All right, guys, welcome back. This is Punt Factor here, bringing you some green-white value town. So I didn't really change too much from the deck list from the 75 that I've been playing in my previous couple games or couple videos or whatever the case may be. I'll quickly run down through it. Bajuka Bog main, I like it. 5 Forest, 1 Gavany, 3 Ghost Quarters, 1 Horizon Canopy, 2 Plains, 2 Temple Gardens, and a full playset of Windswept Heaths. I would love to make one of these, another one of these, but alas, I do not have the card. 4 Path to Exiles, only 7 Mana Dorks, 2 Scavenging Oozes, 3 Voice of Resurgence, 1 Dromoka's Command for that little extra bit of interaction in this deck that doesn't interact at all. We have 2 Ramanop Excavators, 3 Tireless Trackers, 4 Coursers, along with our 4 Knight of the Reliquaries being the backbone of our deck, 1 Eternal Witness, which is a flex slot right now, and 2 Knight of Autumns, which are quickly becoming a mainstay in the deck. This card really gives us a lot of game 1 against like Burn and Affinity and different artifact-based decks. It's just a great card. I never hate seeing it. At worst, it's a 4/3 beater. And of course, our 4 collected companies. Our sideboard, we have our suite of just normal hate cards, ways to clean up some tokens, surgical extractions because of the graveyard strategies. Choke to give us a little more game in the control matchup, which I'm thinking about tossing some Gaddock Teagues in here because that's sweet. Stony Silences, of course, those do not need explanation. And then here we have a pretty fun little suite of stuff. So I'm running 2 Eldritch Evolutions, which basically act as 3 copies of all of our little hate cards. We have Kataki War's Wage, we have an Aven Mind Sensor, Eidolon Rhetoric, Linvala, Keeper. If you want to see this card in action, go look up the video where I played against Elves, and it was sweet. This card's amazing. Also, look up where I played against Counters Company. Card's amazing. And I have an Azusa, and that's the inclusion of the Azusa in the sideboard is because I got rid of 3 Damping Spheres that I really brought in against Tron for the most part. But being able to bring in this Azusa post board allows me to really interact with Ramanop. Get that combo going to wasteland them. So that is pretty much the deck. Still refining it, but hey, can't win them all. And we're going to go to, let's just play a funsy match because don't have a ton of time here, and I don't want to spend money on a game that I don't have a ton of time to think about. Got my Rockstar. Who doesn't like Rockstar? So, let's see. It's a good hand. You know, it's pretty much like an ideal hand. You're looking for 3 lands and a dork, and we have our collected company here. We have a nice Tireless Tracker for some card advantage. Ramanop might be good here. You never know. You know, one thing I would have really liked to see a Knight or a Courser, but you can't win them all. Great. Let's get some control roll in here. Always like to see that crap. Ugh, control. I'm trying to navigate my jazz here. So obviously, turn 1 bird. There's a Courser. Although in this match, actually we'll probably play the Courser out, and then we would almost be better off with waiting on the tracker. Yeah, let's get this Horizon Canopy going. Our life doesn't really matter much. See if we can get a Courser out, see if he'll stick. He might counter, which is fine. Yeah, what do we got? Remand? Mana Leak. Negative. That's fine. In this matchup, I'd almost rather have that thing get mana leaked than a tracker. So what I'll probably do, play a Ghost Quarter pass turn during his end step out Coco. And then if nothing else, we'll be able to get down a tracker next turn and get a couple clues from the Wooded Foothills off of it. Seems okay. That's a weird inclusion. Okay, so he's playing Hollowed Fountain. Why don't we try this again? Yeah, I was gonna rock the whole. There's a path. I was gonna do the whole Coco thing, but he pretty much tapped out, so I gotta take my plays when I get him. I definitely don't want to ship the turn back to him. I mean, I could have played Collected Company there. In these matches, I mean, I don't know if he's running Terminus or whatever, but I don't want to overextend into a Supreme Verdict or a Terminus or something. So slow and steady is kind of the name of the game here. Now this turn, we will be playing our Collected Company. Do I play it now? 4. No, that's fine. That's fine because we wanted to shuffle away that bird anyway. Now we can play it. He is shields down. There's a knight and there's a noble. Not the best Coco hit, but we'll take it. If we can untap with this knight, what's the best way to do this? So he's holding up Cryptic. What's the best way to go about this here? 2, 3, 4. We have a ton of mana. So why don't we sack Canopy? There's another knight. Let's go to combat, swinging for 4 here. Going to assume they're playing Terminus. What did he top or draws a card with opt, cast Path to Exile? Okay. Sure, let's go ahead and shuffle. So here's the question. 3, 4, 5. We have 5 mana. We actually have 6 mana. So let's play out a tracker. Play out a knight. Go ahead and snag another clue there. And let's play out another knight here. Pass turn. Visions, what's he do? Puts 2 cards on top. Got a Jace, and he's going to draw those cards, and he's probably going to Terminus our board. Nope. Okay, guys. So I could Gavany and kill the Jace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's Gavany here. Kill the Jace with the Exalted Trigger. Then we can play a Knight. Wait, no, we don't want to do that. We want to get that Exalted Trigger over to Jace. Do we play the Knight out? I don't think so. I don't really want to play into anything. One card in hand. The unfortunate thing is he put 2 cards on top. Bounce with Jace. He probably has a Terminus or something. So I don't really want to play into that. Also, if he goes to Terminus, I can use the Noble's ability to at least draw a card. Okay, so 1 card in hand. Let's go ahead and draw. Another Noble. Do I want to path this Snappy? Another Tracker. So you can activate this guy, make it a 4/4. Let's just swing here. So 4, 5, 6. Cryptic Command. Well, might as well draw a card here. Another bird. So I can play out a Knight. Okay. Ideally, I was going to say, ideally he lets us untap with Knight. Because if he does, if he tries to use another Snapcaster... Oh, why didn't I? I meant to crack a clue there. Same deal. Should have probably activated the knight there. Two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8. So he might, if he has a sweeper here, we're probably just done. Okay. He concedes. Cool. On to sideboarding. Let's bring in chokes. Let's bring in... I'm like really medium on surgical extraction. Idle on a rhetoric shuts off Snapcaster, but I think it probably hurts us more. Voice is great. I don't think we need excavators here. Surgical would be nice, though, to get rid of... Yeah, let's do surgicals. And why don't we get rid of a couple Night of Autumns? Night of Autumn is cool because it can hit, like, Search for Escanta. But as soon as it flips, I can just blow it up with a Ghost Quarter anyway. With a Night activation, so, like, seems fine. This hand's really good because we're going to be able to drop a Voice onto. And then we have Tracker to just, like, get card advantage if we can get him to stick. So, to keep. It's such a weird card. There's a Knight. It's actually really good. I totally tapped that all wrong. Or fetched that all wrong. I should have played, for people watching... I should have played Wooded Foothills because obviously Wooded Foothills cannot get a Plains, and we are interested in being able to cast our 2-drop no matter what. So, like, if he would somehow get rid of our bird, I would have to fetch in a Temple Garden, which is just an unnecessary 2 life. Now, like, in this match, obviously our life total isn't a huge deal. I mean, he's playing control. We're going to go to, like, turn 16 anyway. But it's a good practice to get into, like, if you're just going to fetch a basic forest, play your Wooded Foothills. Like, it's stupid to waste your Windswept Heath when you can get a Plains. And Plains is kind of the first thing that you look to sacrifice with Knight anyway. Plains is less important in the deck, and then you're able to, you know, snag your fetch land to reshuffle, and then on that reshuffle you can go ahead and grab a Temple Garden on your opponent's end step and just have it come in tapped, so you don't take any of the damage off of it. So not sure what our opponent's doing here. So we have a decision to make. It's probably Voice or Resurgence, because I feel like we play out a Voice and hold up our Wooded Foothills. And then we can just fetch a Temple Garden at the end of his turn and snag, and then next turn try to play probably at Knight because he'd be a 4/4, but it just all depends on if he's tapped out. The nice thing with getting Voice down early is the following turn, you know, if he If he doesn't take care of Voice of Resurgence, he's going to give us a token if he doesn't want anything to resolve. If he takes care of Voice of Resurgence, chances are he's going to be tapped out. Provided he takes care of it on his turn, but he'll probably just counter it if he's going to deal with it. Come on, opponent, what are we doing? You're already playing the slowest deck in the world. This cough, I tell you what, guys. Living the dreams. Even Mind Sensor could have been an interesting got you card. Probably should have just brought it in just because it has flash. Gives us another play to play on his turn. And the ability is, you know, I mean, he's running fetch lands, so just everyone's running freaking fetch lands. So just that ability alone, you don't really want it to resolve. So he has 1 mana up. He can't play Leak. So why don't we... Let's try to run out Voice of Resurgence here and see if it gets... What do they have? Like, okay. And let's play out our Wooded Foothills and call that a day. So I think next turn, because we're going to have... I mean, our Knight is going to be a 5/5. Likewise, we could try to play out Tracker to generate some value. And guys, I apologize. Like, I rewatched... Okay, so... Or he just paths. Let's go ahead and get a Forest. Okay, so he taps out. So now we're able to kind of go ham on what we want. Get our Temple Garden tapped here. 5 mana. What's more valuable here, a Knight or a Tracker? Excuse me. I kind of want to say a Knight. We can play out a Knight as a 4/4. Let's play out the Horizon Canopy and we'll draw a card. We don't need to play the bird out, it's fine. We'll draw a card on our end step. Or on our opponent's end step, which will grow the Knight naturally. Then that allows us to still have our Windswept Heath for our Tracker. I can't imagine him not having a sweeper at this point. Also, guys, I want to say, I apologize. This mic picks everything up. Like, it's unrealistic how much this mic picks up. Wall of Omens. Let's just go ahead and... Do we want to sack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, let's go ahead and sacrifice and draw a card. I think that's fine. Perfect, actually. So we can grow the Knight to like an obscene amount. So there's a path. We don't care about pathing this thing. So the question is, do we try to play out... Do we just like try to saturate him in like pressure and play out our Tireless Tracker? I mean, we're kind of playing into a sweeper. I mean, at the end of the day, if we play out our Tireless Tracker, we're going to get 2 clues out of him. Man, come on, opponent. Let's go, man. Hit the one button unless you have something to respond to. So, Rockstar, how good are these for you? So, here's one thing that I just never understood, right? So, you go to the doctors and you talk to healthy people, which healthy people are just silly. It's beside the point. But you talk to healthy people, and they're all about, like, oh, you got to work out and you got to work out your body and you got to, like, like stay in shape and stuff. It's great. My response, a lot of people hate these things, but my response is, why is it that you're supposed to go and like work your body out? All I'm doing here is like working my heart out, right? Like you're supposed to go run. Well, like when does my heart get to run? Like let's just like increase the heart rate and strengthen it a little bit, I don't know. Makes sense to me. Start out slow, have like a Mountain Dew. You kind of start out jogging on the what are those called? See, I don't work out. I don't even know what the hell they're called. The walking machines. Those things, Drink a Mountain Dew. Kind of gets your heart like, kind of like you're jogging a bit. And the next day, you might dabble in like a half a Rockstar or a half a Red Bull. You're like, man, it's kind of like you're prepping your heart for a 5K. And then you just get to the point where you're just like slamming 7 Rockstars a day. And, all I'm saying is I'm prepping my heart to run a freaking marathon. I don't know. Logic. All right, opponent. Like, not going to lie to you here. Like, let's just shoot him a nice message. People are easily offended. You're a go, my man. So hopefully we don't get a keyboard warrior over there. Watches UFC. Nothing wrong with UFC, by the way. I enjoy fighting. But, like, just because you watch UFC doesn't mean you can fight. This guy. Remember one video back in, like, I don't know, 2 days ago, probably. Dude was, like, watching the NBA game. Ah, man, the dude disconnected. Anyway, it was really funny. I had no idea that Magic players knew what basketball was. I mean, that, like, when the dude was like, oh, man, I remember watching what... I didn't even know what the hell he was talking about. Dawned on me, it's like, this dude's watching, like, the whatever college thing that was going on. That blew my freaking mind. I mean, I've been around, like, this stuff and nerds all my life, man, and, like, no one has even taught... Like, no one even knows what a ball is, let alone, a freaking sport that you play a ball with. Or play with a ball. I don't know. It was really weird, though. It's like, wow, man, that's, like, some pretty... That dude has layers. He's like an onion. Kind of like Shrek. It's like, wow. That dude is not only like rocking Magic, he's like multitasking, like probably betting on a freaking sports team. Some intense stuff. Good for him, though, He's living the dream. So let's just go ahead and give our opponent like another hot minute here. And, if he doesn't come back, we'll just like concede or whatever. And I'll at least put up a game 1. It's cool. So craziness, the London Mulligan roll, like, I have no idea what's going on with it. Like, I tried to look it up, and they took it off Moto, and I haven't heard a thing about it. Like, real crazy. I didn't necessarily think it broke Modern. I mean, if you look at the top eight of the last Mythic Championship or Pro Tour, um, humans took it down, which was real crazy. But and I think like at the end of the day, so people were really worried about Tron, and like Tron's extremely powerful, prior to this Mulligan roll, and it did become a little more consistent, just being able to like rip natural Tron. But like, have you guys seen the new cards that are out? Like the new Karn? I mean, like Tron is going to get pushed over the edge and basically just broken because of a lot of the new cards in War of the Spark. So Tron itself is already going to like they're going to have to they're going to have to get rid of something in Tron. And like, dude, I like Tron. I like stupid broken stuff. Like it's fine. And I'm actually really glad that deck's in the format. And here I am playing like the fairest green white value crap. But super glad Tron's in the format. But like, man, some of those new cards just like kind of bump that crap over the edge. So like if they're basing their like London Mulligan roll decision on like a couple decks, one being Tron, I kind of don't feel like they should, because I think that they're going to kind of get ready to like really knock that deck down a peg anyway. And I really hope they don't get rid of Ancient Stirrings. Like I know everyone is super like, crazy about Ancient Stirrings, and like I understand why. That card is like super good, but I don't want to see decks like Amulet Titan getting hosed because of it. Like I think Amulet Titan and a lot of like, I don't know, like there are a lot of decks with like really cool artifact strategies, right? Like does Lantern they play they have to play Ancient Stirrings, right? I think those decks are cool. Like I'm glad that those decks exist. They're a pain in the ass, and I don't necessarily like playing against them. But like I think they're cool that they exist, and like when I play against them, it's fine. Like you just have to know, people get so upset about like, oh, Lantern Control, it's so boring to play against. It takes so long. Dude, if you're complaining that Lantern Control takes so long for them to win, scoop up your freaking cards and realize when you've already lost. Like, that is the biggest problem with people complaining about these, like, slow, monotonous, stupid decks. It's like, guys, if they have your Lantern lock, like, down and you have 0 ways to draw a card and they are able to mill you at will, so when they see something that is like, I don't know, you're one out in the situation and they're going to mill it, and you have no way of like getting anything back from your graveyard or pull in some like crazy BS where I can like shuffle away stuff before they like whatever, scoop your cards up. It's all good. Like it's not the deck's fault that it takes for, I mean it is the deck's fault that it takes forever to win. But it's like, dude, you've already lost the game like 10 minutes ago. Just like pack your cards up and accept your losses. Anyway, I digress. I have no idea why I even went on that tangent. This dude obviously isn't going to come back. Even if he is going to come back, he's not going to finish it. I'm going to chalk that up for a Value Town win. No, I'm kidding. But I don't know how this game would have went. If he had a sweeper, the only nice redeeming quality of him having a sweeper that we could have come back from was me just still holding this tracker. I think in this position, playing the Knight out was definitely the better play, because let's say he wipes our board. He's going to have to tap out to wipe it. I bring in a tracker. I at least get a couple clues off of it. And then I'd play out my bird as well. And that way I'll be able to hopefully draw into like a company or something else to kind of, keep pressure on my opponent. But all right, guys. Hey, this is Punt Factor. Sorry, our opponent disconnected. We didn't really get a cool game in, but I hope you enjoyed some of my rants. But check back for some more Green White Value Town. Super enjoyed it. You guys take care. Thanks.